What is up, party people? It's Monday, and I'm acting like I am in a much better mood than I am in. Also, I've started off the show before with Alec Baldwin killing someone, but let's talk about Bob Baffert. He's killing horses.
Dude, Megan, I saw that and I'm like, are you kidding me? That can't be real, right? That's just like a freak accident.
Just a freak accident. He had to exnate that horse to just get rid of all of the lawsuits. I don't even know how that's supposed to work. All I know is that guy puts more steroids into those horses. I'm trying to think of like the biggest juice head of all time, but my brain's not, actively working in that manner because I've never done steroids. I don't know. I'm not really in with
steroids are awesome.
Life,
when you're as old as me, Megan, I'm going to tell you, you're going to need them. They really help keep your muscle tone, your sex drive. It's how you get to have long hair still, fingernails. That is if you've just completely decimated your body over the last 30 years that I have. So good times. But I highly recommend them. And let me promise you, they are definitely performance enhancing.
And before we start talking about last week and what happened with college football and NFL,
Time out. I'm in the comments. Zach just said, my wife and I had our second child about 5 hours ago. I would miss this show.
Thank you, Zach.
Kill my husband if he was watching the show and I just gave birth 5 hours ago.
Well, as a mother that's given birth twice, hopefully the nurses have the baby and she's asleep and you're just doing your due diligence by sitting.
See, I'm a psycho and I immediately jump to conclusions. This is why I'm not going to have children because God bless any man that would have to go through that.
You're not going to even shout out Brett? Jesus Christ.
Well, Brett doesn't want to have kids either, but that doesn't mean he's going to put up with my shit for very much longer. He's actually driving across country right now to bring my car. Things are going great.
And it just ebbs and flows. It's okay. Brett, shout out to Brett here. Again, let's be on this positive note. How did you and I pull off having the Money Shots Bowl? Because we don't need it. It doesn't need to be Texas.
Well, if you notice, I wore my purple, even though it doesn't look that purple on screen because of my green screen. I'm kind of pissed because I was like, yep, I'm going to wear purple, even though your team's purple as well. Listen, it's just destiny. It's the Money Shots Bowl.
How crazy is that, though?
All week I kept hearing it was going to be Mississippi State. And then all of a sudden I got this text that was like, I think it's going to be LSU. And I'm like, no fucking way. This would make my day, make my week. It might even make my month because that means basically as of 2 days ago, it's a month from now. So that gives me almost 30 full days to talk shit to Megan. And I've got no ammo. I've got nothing besides making fun of Brian Kelly. That's literally all I have.
That ammo is honestly going to go straight through me. You can put holes in me with that because I'm holding on kind of tight to someone else for a while until I can, until I have to really embrace that. But look, hey, man, if you win me a natty, man, I promise you, I'll have a cardboard cut out of you behind me, and hopefully I'll have a button talking about you and your family. Because that would be just great.
It's so bad. Listen, granted, if I came to Louisiana and I was there for a few months, I might pick up a little bit of twang. But, the guy wasn't even there 24 hours. I was just like, come on, bro. You lived in Cincinnati, you lived in Michigan, you've lived in South Bend. You sound like this, and now you sound like this.
I would want to sound like I was from Baton Rouge too. It's a little cultural appropriation. It's okay. Look, it's Catholics versus convicts. He's a convict now. I hope he understands.
Ooh.
It's no longer Brian Kelly.
I thought Miami was the convicts. Why are you guys the convicts?
Because we're, I think, way more Catholic than Miami. I feel like Louisiana is more of a Catholic maybe not though, with all of the Cubans in Miami. That could be.
Yeah, I feel like I think it's like Catholics versus Catholics, period. But hey, I could be wrong.
That's just how it's been
all
forever.
Serious jokes aside, if you guys are going to be in Houston, Megan and I are working out the details. We're trying to figure out the Money Shots Bowl, what we're going to do as far as partying, what we're going to do as far as the bowl game, and yeah, I'm gonna see if I can't get some tickets. I basically told everybody I know that Houston that I'm coming, so. Sounds like it's going to be a great time. If you guys are going to be there, let us know. We'll figure out maybe a Monday night spot to go to Tuesday, depending on how the game goes. We all know I'm a fucking sore loser, so there may be a slight chance that I don't want to do anything. I just want to go to bed because that's how I act.
Look, it's okay. It's okay. Well, both of us are awarded with a bowl. So we have to just be happy with that. And at the end of the day, as Money Shots co-host, we just got to shake on it And just know that the SEC is the better conference. It's okay.
I mean, I'm not going to let you like throw eggs at me like Brandon Walker did.
Did you see him
or
get
like
drilled in
Mincy
the
did to Brandon
nuts?
Walker, but we got to have like a really fun, maybe we'll let the audience pick something super fun for us to do instead of like a monetary bet, like a little side bet, if you will, because 2.5, I mean, the game's basically a pick 'em. That's how I see it.
I bet they would love us if whoever the loser has to do chubby bunny, like whenever you stick all those marshmallows in your mouth and see how much until you can say it.
Oh my God. The things that you come up with.
Yeah, I know. I live my life in the gutter. Let's talk about some football though. Just tries to hop out of that. How about those goddamn, I can't say that, can I? Yeah. How about the goddamn Crimson Tide? Roll Tide, roll. Boy, was I wrong on that one, and I thought I knew it. I thought Georgia was going to go out there, and Kirby was finally going to put his dick all over Nick Saban. Turns out Nick Saban has a fucking a trunk long penis, apparently. I don't know. The way he moves that thing, he's got all the players involved, invested. He's got boosters, fans. I'm just gonna go ahead and just give him one of these because I mean, come on, how crazy he's gonna end up winning the whole thing. Like just
Probably.
like it's Nick Saban. Why did I doubt that man? Why? He's a unicorn.
It's not that I didn't believe in Kirby Smith or Smart, excuse me, or Nick Saban or either team. Megan, I think at the end of the day, I love to bet into those overreactions. I did it yesterday with the Steelers, and boy, did I hate my life for a better part of that game. Steelers inevitably pulled it off. Thank you, Harbaugh, for going for 2 and not making me go to overtime, because if I had to go to overtime, I don't know what would have happened to me. That being said, it's the same kind of scenario, right? You're never as bad as you looked previously, and you're never as good as you looked on Sunday. And the NFL, that holds way more true than college. College football, it takes longer for the bookmakers to catch up. But as I said on the video, they lost A&M. They were on the ropes to your LSU Tigers. And then the week prior, they had to go to several overtimes with Auburn. This is an Alabama team that we know just reloads. We know they have the talent, and we know what Nick Saban's able to do.
Greens. They just it's just like you can depend on them. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, if shit hits the fan, that's who we're gonna call. That being said, it was a great Saturday. I tried to be very humble in it because I saw all the messages. You guys are just mean to Big Cat. Nobody was mean to Megan, because otherwise I probably would have said something, but you guys were just destroying Big Cat in my mentions, and I was just trying to sit there and just be quiet and not say anything, because I did feel bad. I didn't know that was going to be Big Cat's game of the year until Money Shots with Rico on Friday, when Big Cat like peeked his head in and chimed in, and I said, hey, what's your game of the year? And right prior to that, I had told Jack, I said, hey, Jack, like, these are the 3 dogs I like: ULL, Alabama, Houston. I was like, I can't get to the Houston window with the money line. Of course, I completely wrote off Baylor. That was stupid. That could have been a nice little 3.
That's another game we got to talk about next. That one
we will. And I think it's just so funny, though, because so he says it live, and you can see my reaction where I'm like, oh, shit. Because I knew right after I got done with Money Shots, I was going to do my Alabama video for Jack. And I felt really bad. I did. So it wasn't that I was going against him. I wasn't fading him. It was just a weird timing issue.
I will say this to make you feel better, and maybe take some of the what you feel, maybe like some blame off of you. After I got home from all of my personal stuff, and I rewatched obviously Money Shots to see how Rico filled in. Rico, you did a good job. Your jokes need some work. Just kidding. But I saw whenever Big Cat popped in and said that was his game of the year, and then you were on. He's like, of course, Kelly's on Alabama because it's Nick Saban and the points. So I messaged Big Cat and said, "Go Dogs." So look, I could be partially responsible for a mush there. So the Money Shot show can go 50-50, and that way Big Cat doesn't even have to bear any of the weight. There you go, Big Cat. You are free. You are burdenless.
I did feel bad. People ask me in the comments, don't you feel responsible for giving him his game of the year loss? I mean, he already had a game of the year. He should have just stopped at 1-0, and he should have just said, this is my game of the month. Or something else.
Or be like Stu and have a game of the year and a game of your career, because they're completely 2 different things, obviously.
I don't ever want the pressure of having a game of my career. That is for damn sure.
Speaking of which, just to run through. So I saw everyone and their mom on Western Kentucky. I'm so excited for UTSA for pulling that one out. I had nothing in that game. The Ducks, Oregon Ducks, look like they're pretty fraudulent. Looks like they could have been fraudulent all year long, and we just let them pass.
Well, Mincy actually, so when we did the show, I had mentioned like, hey, it's really hard to beat a team twice. Now we're on a neutral field, blah, 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 blah. Mincy is actually the one that I need to say thank you to because he tweeted with the Cristobal news, possibly leaving for Miami, that he was off the Ducks. Now, I didn't bet the Ducks, but a guy that I faded liked Utah, and I was like, oh, do I bet the Ducks? Do I do it? And I saw that and I was like, you're right. If he's got 1 foot out the door, I want nothing to do with this game. Oregon absolutely routed them once again.
And I'll skip over one just to kind of segue into the other with a man with his foot out the door that had the opposite. Billy Napier, man. Congratulations, dude. Like, and did you see that video of him walking into the swamp? Like, there's a certain coach that I need to take notes from that man. He walked off that bus. He jumping. He was ready to go. He was fired up. He was so in. He was 100% in. He was ready to win all of their games as a school. I need that type of energy. I need it. I'm not going to say where I need it. I'm not going to say anything. But that's the type of energy I need. So congratulations, Billy Napier. You're a fucking dog. Again, thank you for the cover. But now we'll hop back to Baylor, Okie State, which I was like, yeah, I thought I was going to be a buyer at 6. I don't know why I didn't take the money line, Kelly. I really thought Okie State was like, all right, if we blow Baylor out, we have a chance. If Cincinnati loses, we could get into the college football playoff. But it felt like it was very lackluster Cowboy football. Either that or Baylor just controlled the game completely from start to finish, which I kind of feel like they did.
I think it's a little bit of both, Megan. I mean, look, it's not all that often that Oklahoma State beats Oklahoma in Bedlam, let alone the last Bedlam before Oklahoma goes to the SEC. And they beat them in a pretty decent fashion. Not only did they cover the spread, but look, it was one of those scenarios where it was kind of that next game where they were feeling good about themselves. Here's this Baylor team that superseded everybody's expectations this entire season. Hell, their season win total was 5.5, Megan. Like, nobody expected this team to win the Big 12, except for my buddy Chris, who is a Baylor homer. He had a 40-1 ticket.
You know who else believed? Dave Arnott. Dave Arnott believed that he was
excellent
have
coach.
5 wins.
I think he's going to do very well in Baylor. Look, I'm a little concerned with Baylor going forward because look, Matt Rule was tough, I think, to follow, and Dave is doing an excellent job. So that's how we're going to see it going forward. But yeah, to see Baylor go in there, and you're right, absolutely dominate that game up until the second half where basically Oklahoma State had to come from behind, weren't able to do it. Goal line stand by the Baylor defense. Congratulations to them.
And we can talk about Alabama, Georgia, but I feel like every single eyeball was on that game. It was Alabama's game, guys. I mean, I took Georgia minus a 6.5, and I just have to humbly swallow the fact that Nick Saban is that dude. Alabama, just because they might not look like the electric, sparkly, beautiful, Alabama team with no wins. Look, they're allowed to have a fluke game, and that fluke game was against A&M, which we know wasn't that great this year. We had Calzada, who did jack shit, until, there was a couple good games that he had, but it wasn't nearly what the line makers and everyone was talking about before the Aggies started the season. But I'll admit it, I'll swallow it, I'll humble myself. I was dead wrong. I really thought Georgia being so dominant, but then after taking a step back, after losing, I'm like, but Georgia was so dominant against who? And I don't know why I didn't look harder into scheduling and how much dominance. I mean, their best win, I think, was against like Clemson, and they only won by like 3 or something. Like, it's the only win.
Well, I think something to really consider here, Megan, and something that concerns me as far as our bowl game goes is how much better the SEC West is than the SEC East. And I think that that's something to consider here. And we're going to find out on a neutral field on January 4th. But that being said, I do think something to look for in the bowl games are things such as that, right? Like, look who each team has played, break down the math. And don't forget, the bookmakers are going to have some biases towards the SEC teams. I love it when the SEC teams go like 1-8 against the spread in their bowl games because either they don't care or maybe they're not as good as advertised.
Also,
so,
I'm looking to see so many people opt out. Like, I'm waiting and waiting and waiting. Seeing
that's the hard part here, right? We have coaches leaving. We have kids opting out. Kids get in trouble. Kids don't make final grades. Shitty things happen. And so I did bet one game already today. It was Michigan State +6. It is all the way, or excuse me, Western Michigan +6. It is all the way down to +3 versus Nevada. I got some good information and it went bye-bye really quick. So when I do get good information, I will start sharing it with you guys. But you do have to kind of remember there's going to be that asterisk when betting 3 weeks before the game kicks off. Yes, you want to get the best of the number, but also you're not going to be very happy if the coach gets fired or the star quarterback gets a DUI.
What is the line, or do you know the line for the Arizona Bowl with the Chippewas and?
Yeah, it opened. Casey put out her Boise State video yesterday.
Right.
I thought it was pretty funny, and I laughed, and I go, well, damn it, I was already planning on taking the points with the Chippewas. I made the game 9.5. So when I saw us open it at 11, I knew that there was some Boise State bias. Chippewas got bet early. I believe the current line is 10.5 at the Barstool Sportsbook. I think it's going to be one of those really good games. These teams to the MAC can be rather scrappy. Chippewas have been great off and on basically since PJ Fleck was there.
I will say I have firsthand witnessed this Chippewas team. It was against my LSU Tigers at home, but I will say they're a tough team. They play scrappy. LSU's defense absolutely fucking dominated that game, right? Like, they made the Chippewas make mistakes. But is the Boise defense going to make the Chippewas make mistakes the way that LSU? And that was, in my opinion, was kind of a fluky game for the LSU defense. I mean, they had like 3 turnovers within like a 5-minute span of that game. Like, it was a sloppy, just back and forth. I don't remember what the final. I know we won. Don't remember what the final score was. I know we won Chippewas, lost Auburn, which is the next game we went to, and then won against A&M. Which was the last game that I went to. But that was just a look at headline, just out of curiosity to see what side you were on. Because
I think if you like Central Michigan, bet it now because it is already 10 at the Barstool Sportsbook, and I think we're going to see it head to 9.5 here shortly. So if you like them and you can still get a 10, I would do it. These are early on type of scenarios that it's not that much fun, right? To bet 3 weeks before a game starts. But also, you may be kicking yourself when this one closes 7.
Okay, so you already bet the Chippewas, so you're all in, right? You're all in.
Well, now I'm trying to hurry up and see if I can bet it live in the middle of the show, and all I'm seeing is 9.5. So definitely.
But I will say, if we're both on the Chippewas, we need to go ahead and get a pair of those overalls.
Overalls? Oh, can't
the striped ones?
Wait to wear those overalls.
The maroon and the yellow ones. Come on, we have to.
All right. You're in charge of that. I'll just Venmo you. I need a small, please.
Your boobs will look great in overalls. You can just wear the overall straps over the nips.
There we go. Great idea.
Like pasties. All right, let's keep on moving while I'm talking about Kelly's boobs. And then we're all distracted. All right, Cincy getting that natty. I would not be surprised if Cincinnati fucking pulled the whole thing out of their ass. I know that's a crazy thought, but they want it.
That is a crazy thought.
They want it so bad. And I feel like after a year of COVID, like something crazy could definitely pan out. Do I think it happens? No. But out of all the teams I have left, even though I might have an SEC bias, I'm kind of loving Cincinnati. I've loved them for 2 years in a row, almost as much as I loved Coastal 2 years ago. I'm all on board with really fun fan bases, which is why I'm kind of sad I'm going against the Bills tonight. And of course, I took this last week before everyone and their mother fucking bet the Patriots, but me and El Prez are on them, so I definitely feel good. Kind of. But yeah, so good job for Cincinnati. Did we talk about Michigan already?
No, we haven't. And I honestly don't know what to make of this Michigan team, Megan. I've got, after this show, I've got one more show today. And I full on the next 48 hours, I'm going to dig deep in some of these bowls, bet some of these early numbers.
You and Coco?
See if it doesn't work out well for me, because it is terrifying. But this Michigan team, I have been so wrong about them so many times, right? So
We've talked about them all year long. I'm like, I think we should give Michigan credit. And you're like, I don't know yet.
I know. And I know that I did not bet against them this week because I did not like the line move with Iowa. I thought at plus 11, this was way too many points.
Begging us to
that it was just terrible. Look, if I'm looking at my stuff right now, I have Michigan, the 5th best team power ratings wise in the country. I need to work on this because like I said, I've been wrong all year round. I know a couple other guys have them as 3. Some guys even have them as 2. I think that's a little bit egregious because I don't have Georgia 1, but I also didn't have Georgia 1
right now.
other day.
Right now I see Michigan as 2. And what's funny is I'm looking at them and their like the box score of Michigan, Iowa. And I just vaguely remember, again, when Iowa had that 2 by their name. And again, so many people thought I was so stupid for thinking Cincinnati or Bama could be better than Iowa. Well, you know what? Maybe I'm blonde, but I am not that stupid. I can be, but not today. So yeah, I don't know what to make of this Michigan team either, especially when they get brought up. Dave's like, give us Georgia, give us Bama, we'll roll over them all. I don't know if that's going to be the case. Who doesn't want to go and beat the fuck out of a Big Ten school from the SEC? Right? Like,
listen, I understand that the whole like SEC hatred. I understand the whole like shit talking. The problem is, Megan, is I don't have a way to quantify it. I can tell you that I do think that the way for example, right? I just told you K-State was a 2.5-point underdog. The reason why that is not because of an SEC bias. It's probably because Will Howard's going to be K-State's quarterback, and that probably means they're going to lose the game. If it's Skylar Thompson, the game's a pick'em because there is about a 2.5-point drop-off. I need to look a little bit further, but there have been instances where there is an SEC bias. I do think that they're going to attract a ton of Georgia money with this line. 7.5. They're going to say this is like you could flip it from a talking point and say that they're baiting you to bet Michigan. Georgia's the right side. Like I said, I have this team number 2, number 5 on a neutral field. I think this line's a little too high. Again, Harbaugh has not been my favorite coach by any means over the years. And I haven't really trusted him. And then I see a picture of him drinking milk, eating steak. And I'm like, now we really have fucking trust issues, man. So it's one of those.
My dad was a big milk and steak guy.
That's a thing.
And he would drink milk with ice in it. He never drank milk without ice. He also smoked a pack of Marlboro Lights twice a day.
At least he smoked Marlboro Lights. My dad smoked Marlboro Reds.
He's a true G. True G. I got to meet your dad. I just want to fuck with him a little bit. I think he'd like me.
Oh, yeah. You guys would be just a fucking hoot. I cannot wait for you guys never to meet each other because I'll just sit there and shock.
Give him like a quick noogie real quick. Like, sup, Mr. Stewart?
Oh my God, I would die. Now we have to make this happen. I'll see if I can bring him to Houston, except I won't get him on an airplane. Next game.
Yeah, last game before we get into NFL. Kenny motherfucking Pickett. Let's go. Wake Forest, as you said, was the square dog of the week. Kenny Pickett and friends went out there and got it done. It didn't matter how high-powered that Wake Forest offense was because they only scored 21 points. It didn't matter. You know how much I've loved this Pitt Panthers team all year. And I will say they've burned me. I looked back last night through my book, which I love to do sometimes, just reminisce, on the losses. But I think they've only burned me 3 times this year. And that's a lot less than multiple teams I've taken in the past. So Kenny, congratulations. And I'm still pushing. I know Bryce Young is now minus 5,000 to be Heisman. Give my boy Kenny some love, man.
I think he'll get some votes. I think he'll finish 2nd or 3rd in the Heisman voting, and I think he deserves to at least get to be there and stand at the podium and get some sort of recognition because he did have a really great season. Was a nice way to win it off. To win an ACC championship, our producer Jack had a ticket on them, which is excellent because I would have never seen that coming. I wasn't going to be low on Clemson, but Clemson was a huge favorite to be the SEC champion yet again. If you ask me who I would have picked that wasn't named Clemson, I probably would have made a case for North Carolina or North Carolina State. So him having a ticket on Pitt, round of applause for Jack. That everybody keeps asking him in the comments. Where's Jack? Jack. We have some Jack fans. Jason and Jake in the comments are both Jack fans, in case you wanted to know.
Jack. We need to have shirts that just say Money Shot Jack.
There you go.
Money Shots Jack. Okay. Let's move on to the NFL. Let's go to some games.
Let's not. This is a recap. All 3 of my double-digit favorite totals went under. Pittsburgh won. Broncos suck, but luckily also went under. It was a public road favorite bloodbath kind of day.
Except me, the public, who always takes shit like that, decided not to this week. So I got the good old Niners against the Seahawks, who I thought were fucking literally in a hole. I thought Russell was ready to get out. I thought he literally could not care less about the Seahawks. And then I was wrong. About the Saints, but I also thought that Taysom Hill wouldn't throw 4 interceptions after being paid that much fucking
That was
money.
really bad.
Tua, congratulations, Tua. You look like you actually played for Alabama at one time. Cardinals.
Oh, you know the other thing I think that yesterday that we saw where we need to take an actual step, right? And then we've talked about this before a little bit on the show, but we have tiered quarterbacks, Megan. And even some of those A-list guys this year, Tom Brady's thrown a lot of interceptions on the road. Patrick Mahomes has thrown more interceptions than he has this year. Josh Allen. But I would still put some of these guys in the upper echelon. And then the rest of the NFL has to deal with jerk-offs like Andy Dalton every single week. And then Andy Dalton's backup, Nick Foles, is going to do the same thing. And then Justin Fields is going to do the same thing. This is the problem. There is maybe 5 guys in the NFL that need to be running football teams. And you know what? I'm going to go ahead and say this. Kirk Cousins is one of those guys. There, I said it. Yeah. Guess what? Kirk Cousins was not to blame for that loss yesterday.
I saw a meme the other day that said something like, when you've thrown 28 touchdowns and only 3 interceptions, but no one gives a fuck because you're Kirk Cousins. And I thought,
I just said that. Isn't that terrible? Kirk gets all this slander. And I understand when you have to play against Aaron Rodgers twice a year, you're nobody, right? You just get shit all over. You're the second best quarterback in the NFC North. But not only is he 1A and 1B to Aaron Rodgers, everybody else is so beneath them. I mean, congrats to Jared Goff. He was in a Super Bowl at one point in time. He was able to thread the needle and kill my last survivor pool with Minnesota. Good job.
Did you see PFT's tweet? The walk golf instead of the walk off, he said walk golf. And it was like, the PFT, if you're listening, your tweets have just been on fire all weekend.
I did not see that. Anyway, congrats. As you tweeted, the Lions fucked around and won a game. That killed my last survivor pool. That cost me, I don't want to tell you guys how much money that cost me. Luckily, I
had no idea that was your survivor. If I did, I would not have tweeted that. I would not have done that if I knew that it affected your money. I just thought it was silly.
No, so this is how survivor pools work, Megan. You can either hedge towards the end of the season if you're still in it, or you can vote to chop. There was 3 of us. There was 15 of us. Then it went down to 6 last week. They asked to chop. We voted no. Then this week was 3. And so we decided, sorry, I'm dying over here. We decided to chop half and then play for the rest. Let's
talk about something. Are the Chargers good?
Is that a rhetorical question? Listen, I had the Chargers to start the season. I said they would make the playoffs. And then I kind of said, well, maybe I was wrong there. Maybe it's going to be the Broncos that make the playoffs. I knew the Raiders were going to make the playoffs. They went on a nice little streak. We knew the Chiefs were going to make the playoffs. They went on a little bad streak as well. Look, that was a game that was a complete mindfuck in my mind. I knew really sharp guys on both sides. Some sharp guys laid 2.5. Some sharp guys took 3. I didn't know what to make of the game, so I'm very, very, very glad I stayed off. Yeah. That being said, kind of going back to what I said about Pittsburgh and how they were at the bottom after getting beat to hell by the Bengals. The Bengals were way too high. That game should have been closer to a pick 'em. I think that they were a little inflated there. And are the Chargers good? I'm still trying to answer that, and I don't have an answer for you. The Chargers show me moments of greatness, and I think the Chargers as an underdog are going to be a great bet for the next couple of weeks. One of the guys, James in the comments, says their coaching sucks. Brandon Staley, not in love with him, but he's still better than Anthony Lynn. So
that's what I'm saying. They upgraded from Anthony Lynn. Literally would be up and call plays to.
It was the best, though, Megan. It would be so funny to watch and be like,
how does someone do that? No, the coaching sucks, but we are fucking 10 steps ahead of Anthony Lynn. So that is a cold take.
You know, there's a couple of coaches that get out coached on a regular basis, but that was by far one of my favorite ones. I mean, I really liked him on Hard Knocks. He seemed like a really nice guy.
I'm also glad that I'm glad that Tomlin outcoached fucking Harbaugh last night. I know Harbaugh tried to lay his nuts on the table. Boy, was that a taste of humble pie there. All you had to do was
I love Lamar Jackson. I do. He's one of my favorite quarterbacks.
I know, that's why you have him in your fantasy league,
I did. That's why we did draft him. Also, we got him super cheap because he is a little suspect at times, Megan. He makes some errant throws. We've seen him from time to time. A couple of weeks ago against the Browns, turned the ball over. And
his air attack is his running game.
I'm surprised he didn't run it. I'm surprised
air attack is
that Harbaugh didn't run that play. I understand you bring the big man in. That makes a little bit of sense. That throw was completely on Lamar, though. That was I feel like I could have completed a better throw than that. I'm happy he did, though. Trust me, I did not want to go to overtime. Or I did have the money line, but besides that, I would have been very, very, very happy to just have the 4.5. I'm so happy they like to go for 2 because I'm telling you, overtime would have killed me. I would not have been here on the show today. I would have jumped off my roof and broke both my legs.
For dogs go to die, baby. We got one more game, then we'll talk about Monday night. Another question relevant to the Chargers question. Are the Chiefs legit? Their defense has really stepped up, Kelly. I mean,
Sorensen, ever since I bagged on him 3 weeks ago, now all of a sudden he's like the pick 6 king.
Talking some mad shit about this Chiefs defense, and within the last 2 weeks, Andy Reid, maybe Jackson's been off the field, maybe like the baby has been like at fucking the grandma's house 3 states away. I don't know. Something has turned.
I gotta say this. Did you see the tweet where they're like chained off by themselves on the field? And all the Chiefs fans, I retweeted it, was like, I don't get this. It was the funniest thing. They're like, it's there to keep them away from the rest of us. Like, I was rolling. I thought it was the funniest thing. Because I didn't quite
like, why couldn't they just be like fucking Jared Goff's girlfriend? She was like at like a bikini photo shoot when like Jared
Why can't you just be a normal fucking human being and not think that you're better than everybody else? I don't get it. That's just me. Trust me. I like to schmooze with the best of them. I'd probably be in the suite drunk tweeting about referees too. So I guess I'll keep my mouth shut.
Okay, but question is, Kelly, from now on, or I guess coming forward next week, are we going to be betting on an overreaction with the Chiefs, or are we going to be betting them at them coming to form? Because we know that this Chiefs team, obviously winning a Super Bowl, then going back to one, has key players. They're a good team. They're well coached. Sometimes, Andy Reid, I love you. But is this now going to be an overreaction since the Broncos have been so hot? Or are we going to get the Chiefs at a normal price at the Chiefs, with the Chiefs playing like they normally do?
So, Megan, I am looking right now. I haven't updated these from yesterday, but as of yesterday, I had Chiefs as the number 6 team in the NFL. Obviously, recent form has brought down their numbers in regards to that. End of the day, they still haven't covered but 6 games of their last 20. I'm not ready to boost the Chiefs just yet. I do think that the Raiders are an issue, right? And that's who they play this week.
Let's see, Raiders just lost at home and
9.5 point favorites at home. Look, this is not
traveling.
Well, it's more this. Like, I'm not ready to move the Chiefs in one direction or another. I think right now I've had them in a really good spot. I would still make that Broncos bet again tomorrow, plus 10.5. I got a good number. I joked that I was going to go to bed with my CLV trophy and watch Yellowstone because fuck that game. Still would make that bet again tomorrow. Divisional underdogs, as we saw yesterday, were barking out with the exception of a couple of them named the Atlanta Falcons and the Houston Texans. That being said, man, I don't know what to make of this Chiefs team. Do I think that do I think they need to get gifted back into the Super Bowl? I think Buffalo is still a legit contender, but we've got to see that offense. If you put pressure, and that's what I think we're going to see tonight, and we'll kick into that in a minute. If you put pressure on Josh Allen, you get in his face, you throw him off his game, we can see what happens to that team. So this is a really interesting question as to how to answer the Chiefs. I think right now we don't overreact to anything we just saw. and we just keep the Chiefs kind of steady. We'll see how they play against the Raiders, but I don't even know if the Raiders are going to be a good gauge because the Raiders have just been in a world of hurt since October.
Right, since the wreck, they are a wreck.
Well, even before that, like when Gruden got fired, they were able to, essentially get a get right game. Maybe it was helpful, but there was a lot of off the field distractions, and I do think it is really hard with an interim head coach.
Who is
look at what you just said with Brian Kelly, right? To start the show, you're like, yeah, if he wins me a natty, we'll be fine. But right now, your heart's still with Coach O. I still feel that way about Bruce Weber and Frank Martin from like it feels like a decade ago.
If Brian Kelly didn't come out to that basketball game and said, y'all already love me and I haven't even won all my games yet. All right. That man behind me would have never called them his games ever.
Yeah.
Ever.
It's hard.
He's
kind of a narcissist. I know a lot of Notre Dame fans that are happy he's gone.
I want to love Brian Kelly. But as I told you when we first started the show, my father was a Purdue graduate. My whole entire life, I have been ingrained to say, fuck Notre Dame. As a child, I was literally allowed to say, fuck Notre Dame. That was it.
If I had a kid, I would teach him to walk around and say, fuck KU probably too. So
exactly. So that is like instilled in my blood. I don't know a damn thing about Notre Dame except that they get to pick whoever they want to play every year. They're in an independent conference and they do whatever they want because they're Catholic. Just like the rest of the Catholic Church. But we'll get into that at a different time because we got Monday Night Football. I'm also Catholic and went to Catholic school, so I can say shit like that.
Listen, my dad's Catholic. Luckily, he did not force that upon me as a child.
My dad was an atheist growing up, but sent me to Catholic school because he wanted to flex because he...
Sounds like every Catholic I know. Bunch of fucking hypocrites. Cheers.
All right. Cheers to that. Let's get into probably some more Catholics. The Patriots and the Bills. We got Bill Belichick. We got divisional rivals here. We got the Bills at home. Usually, as I said, I love to play the Bills. The Bills are so much fun. If I could be on a team base besides the Saints, it would be the Bills, but not today. Again, as I asked you before the show, hey, Kelly, are the Patriots like the squarest dog on the board besides Wake Forest this weekend? And what did you say?
Yeah, I'm nervous about this one. So full disclosure, when New England was 2.5, it's now 3 at the Barstool Sportsbook. I put New England in a teaser with Washington football team. Here I am. Do I want to bet the Pats tonight? Absolutely. Recent form, the Patriots have been absolutely crushing. I think Josh McDaniels is doing a great job with this offense. They keep Mac Jones in his little bitty box, and they don't allow too much pressure on him. Decent running game.
Mac Jones.
Yeah, listen, I think that New England absolutely on paper should cover this game. My problem is what I'm seeing in the comments. Well, the Bills lost to the Jags. Well, the Bills lost to the Steelers. I think this right here might be like that moment for Josh Allen to be like, hey, motherfuckers, it's Josh Allen.
And we're still,
Kelly's picked to win the Super Bowl here at 14-1. I feel like we could get one of those type games from the Bills. That doesn't mean we're going to.
Right.
And that's why I think I'm going to take a step back and look at this one a little bit further because, again, I just need the Patriots to keep it within a touchdown or win the game. I cashed the second leg of my teaser, and I don't have to worry about this game. It is going to be cold. It is going to be windy. I hope it looks like a fucking snow globe because I love watching those type of games, and we're going to see. But that being said, does the Pats look square? Yeah, they do. But I told Pam Maldonado the other day when we were chatting, she goes, Kelly, how come you buy into so much of that? And I'm like, you know what? I really shouldn't. At the end of the day, I need to trust myself. I need to trust my numbers more. There's a reason why I put Pats in a teaser because it was a quintessential teaser type spot. Megan, you have Pats on the money line. The Pats, this is a very winnable game. Look, field goal and under, we know that 14% of the games land on a field goal. We know that 1 and 2 is less than 7% of the time. I don't think this game lands 1 or 2. I think if you like the Pats, you do what Megan has. You bet them on the money line because either they're winning this game or they're losing by more than 3.
Exactly. You bet the Pats money line, $50, opt in, win or lose. You get a free hoodie. So you're a winner either way. Also, I really hope that the Pats have just been hearing the whole time oh, the Bills are going to win the Super Bowl. The Bills are going to win the Super Bowl. The Patriots have been, I don't want to say maybe by the bookmakers, but by the public have been undervalued all year. I've undervalued them. Hey, they don't have playmakers. What are they going to do? Well, who is Mac Jones throwing to? All of these variables going through my mind. But yet every week, the Patriots and Bill Belichick find their pieces and just put together this beautiful puzzle. And yeah, you're right. This could be one of those games where Josh Allen comes out and just wants to fucking put it to the Patriots because that's what they're supposed to do tonight, right? That's what they're supposed to do. But the New England Patriots are not supposed to win this game. And what does Bill Belichick do? He wins games he's not fucking supposed to. So this is, again, if it wasn't the Patriots, I did have the Steelers as a second backup bet for my money line this week, which actually, even if this one loses, I'm glad I didn't take because that would have been the sweatiest money line of my entire life. So right now, I'm trusting who? Mac Jones and Alabama, who just fucking beat Georgia, which we know they just load up. So Mac Jones is an absolute beast. Bill Belichick's an absolute beast. I know Kelly's on the Bills.
I'm not on the Bills. I'm not on the Bills. I didn't say I was on the Bills. I have the Pats in a teaser. I'm excited to watch this game. This is going to be not necessarily the deciding factor of the AFC East because the Patriots are in the driver's seat. But if
because you have the Super Bowl ticket.
The Super Bowl ticket is just one of those little BS things to give you something fun to cheer for. Those things are just a little nominal fee that you pay to play the game. No, Megan, it's not like they were like some long shot at 40-1. Like I picked a team that it was less than 15-1.
Excuse me, Kelly Stewart. I know you well enough to know that number one, you don't just throw stuff out there. You have intelligence behind your bets. Two, you don't like to lose. So you would have not picked the Bills if you did not think that they were actually had at least like a 65% chance to win. Like I know your statistics. We were on here 43 minutes because I've been talking bullshit the entire time, talking about people dying, a bunch of stuff. Anyway, Kelly and I are going to have the Money Shots Bowl. If you pick the New England Patriots to win tonight, you get a hoodie no matter what. This is Money Shots. We'll be back tomorrow. By the way,
we're coming back tomorrow on Tuesday?
No, we're not. We're coming back on Thursday.
I'm like, that's news to me. I didn't know we were going to start doing a Tuesday show.
But we talked about it. That's why my head
for college basketball.
Yeah.
So if everybody would stop trashing us in the comments and they want us to come back to college basketball, that would be great. I am laughing. We have some nice guys in the comments.
San Jose State tonight. So if that's what you want, I took San Jose State at -4. I have Iowa -2. Both have moved in the opposite direction, which is not great for me, but it's basketball. It swings.
Yeah, I don't trust Brad Underwood in this Illinois team just yet with my money. But hey, I didn't trust K-State last night, and they were able to get the job done. So I'm going to start working on my college basketball, my college bowl games. Where's my Money Shots hoodie? Our good friend Jack, the producer that everybody keeps talking to in the chat, we're working on some Money Shots gear. We're going to get that for you guys, hopefully in time for Christmas.
Hopefully in time for Christmas. And then maybe even we could do like a Money Shots parlay to where if they bet $50 on the parlay, they get a Money Shots piece of merch. I think that could be.
We definitely have to do that for the K-State LSU game. For sure. 110%.
Right. Jack, you heard it here first. All right. We'll see you guys not tomorrow, but on Thursday. Go Patriots, cover the money line, and get Kelly her fucking teaser. That's it. We love you guys.
Ay, ay, ay.